a video on wild greens, well, creamed wild greens, and the wild greens in question are nettles. So I've faffed around with nettles before, and they are delicious. They are like nothing you've ever tasted before, and absolutely wonderful. So I kind of thought I was doing some creamed wild garlic on toast the other day for breakfast. No, it was lunch, and it was very nice. And I kind of thought, well, you know, there's not always going to be wild garlic in season, but we're going to do the same with nettles, and with them we can do the same with all kind of wild greens as well. So I've been out, I picked them in a, they're kind of about a foot and a half, no, about a foot off the ground at the moment, so they're not at dog wee level. So there's going to be no dogs of weed on these. So, and I picked them around the edge of the field, so they're fine. So you want to pick the tops. We don't want the stalks, we just want the top leaves like that. You can go further down, but they're just not as nice because you want the young tender leaves. So that, and then pinch off the top like that. And we'll do that with all of them, and then we'll wash and all that. Now there is that bit in the top. That bit's going to go in. That stalky bit there will be tender. I've heard you're not supposed to put nettles on your compost. So I'll put this in the garden waste bin. So we'll go through all the nettles, we'll pick them, and then we're going to cook them down and out. I've probably bought a lot more nettles than I actually need. So we'll cook all the nettles down, and then we'll cool them down, and then we can use them in different things. They freeze really well as well. So pick the bag, wash them, and then we'll cook them like we do with spinach. So just in a pan with a little bit of water. You don't need any oil or butter or anything like that. Just a little bit of water just to steam them and kind of like cook them down kind of quite quickly. But you'll see that when I've washed those. Oh yeah, wear gloves because obviously they're nettles. When you're picking nettles, you kind of want a full glove. So these are gloves that have, the fronts of them are dipped in like rubber, and the backs are fabric, which is kind of quite thin fabric, which makes you so your hands can breathe. So when you're working outside in the garden, you don't get like sweaty finger syndrome. I'm sure that's a thing. That's what I call it. So because I've got breathable on the back. Now the only problem is you end up nettling yourself if you pick nettles with these. So wear some full gloves or just put up with being nettled. But we're back in the next bit. So I have washed the nettles. I don't want to touch them. Let's just see if they'll just drop into that pan. So I haven't rinsed. I've rinsed them, but I haven't shaken off all the liquid, all the water, because that water is what's going to cook the leeks nettles. So now we just need to. I'm not going to put. We're going to put some salt in. No, we don't need to put. We'll season it afterwards. So the thing with seasoning is that it's very difficult to take seasoning out if you over season things. So if you're going to put something in the freezer, like say if you're going to make like a ragu, like I'm making on the back, some of that ragu is going to go into the freezer. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to use that ragu for, so I might be using it in something else. Like it might go on the top of the pizza. So if it goes on the top of the pizza, that ragu, it wants to be perfectly seasoned for the top of that pizza. But it doesn't. If I'm going to use it in something else, like a pasta bake, when I'm going to, like a pasta bake, it doesn't want to be perfectly seasoned because it's going to have other things in there. I might be adding more salty ingredients to it, so therefore it will become overly salty. So if we're going to put things in the freezer, we don't want to perfectly season them because we don't know what we're going to use it for, and there's always going to be the risk that it then over seasons what we're going to cook with it, and we're also limited what we could do with it then. So if you know that it's perfectly seasoned, you kind of go, oh well, I can't use that in that dish because it'll just make it too salty. So as you can see, those are wilted down rather quite quickly, and once we've cooked them they will keep for longer. So think like salad leaves want to go off kind of quite quickly. If you, like a salad leaf would go rotten kind of quite quickly, but if we cook it, it gives it a little bit longer shelf life. So, and also we can freeze these if we so wish, because we can't freeze things that have been that are fresh, like leaves, like spinach. But to cook them first and then freeze them, that kind of works. So that's cooked down enough. So the cooking process will have gotten rid of the stingy bits of the nettles. I shall now prove that by eating a bit. Nope, it has not stung my tongue. So, that's cooked. Turn off. Do a quick run out of storage space. So, they're cooked. Just move them around on the plate, just to a bigger surface area. We'll cool those down, and then we can use them over the next couple of days. I don't need to do them straight away. Let's make these creamed nettles. So, there's 2 onions in there and about half the nettles. I don't really know how to weigh that. And then we want some cream in there, don't we? So I've heated it slightly, and we want to cook the cream so it thickens up. Don't want too much cream because I don't want to. I probably haven't just quite got enough cream, but we'll cross that bridge. We'll see how we go. It'll be fine. We'll just have to be a bit quicker. Let's put it all in. I haven't got any more. I'm not going to go out and get any more. We will just have enough. Yeah, so the idea is that we thicken it and it'll form a sauce, and then we'll season it. And we've got 2 eggs cooking, and we've got some fried sourdough. Ooh, it's going to turn it green. So I've already seasoned it. Little taste there, and we'll see what we think. Nice. Nice. I just need to look after my eggs at the back as well at the same time. So that's that. These pans are a little bit big for the stove. More pepper. And a little bit more salt. But not too much. I think we're going to be okay with this amount of cream. There seems to be a sufficient amount of liquid coming out of the onions and nettles that it's not becoming overly thick and claggy, which is not something I want. Yeah, so I've said this before, fried eggs shouldn't have shouldn't be crispy, classically. So mine has just started to crisp up there, but they shouldn't be crispy. They should be like a poached egg. They should be gently cooked rather than hard fried. But there we go. I think it's going to be good. It's a bit green though. Not to worry. How does it taste? Nice that. So that's ready. Move it. Cook it dirty, by the way. So pay attention to how dirty the cooker is. Right, so that's that out of the way. That's a better amount of greens actually than I did with the wild garlic. Probably should have done more, but not to worry. That's fine. That out of the way. Enough heat in the pan to cook the eggs. I'm not going to drain the eggs too much. There's a slice. I mean, just make this with watercress or spinach. You don't have to go out and pick nettles, but they're free and they are delicious, and they're probably really good for you. Probably. So I need to take a picture. Yeah, pepper first. Look. So we'll take a picture and we're back and give it a taste. Right, so let's give it a taste. I split the egg for the picture. I think this is going to be delicious. That's really good, as well. You'd never know they were nettles. You'd never know they were nettles, but don't have to be nettles. More garlic, spinach, cabbage, watercress. Any one of those would be delicious. Any kale. Yeah, absolutely delicious. And a success.